Hey everybody, Orion the Hev here, and we just finished Christmas, so I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, whether you're celebrating Christmas or some other holiday, or if you're watching this video at a time when it's not right around the new year. I hope you're enjoying the day, the season, whatever's happening in your world at the moment. But as we head here towards the new year 2022, I really wanted to shoot this video to support you in the idea of setting goals and how to set goals and actually achieve them. Key to this video is understanding that setting goals is not step one. Setting goals, setting resolutions, trying to make a new habit happen, trying to force a new behavior through daily regimen or behaviors, or whether that's losing a certain amount of weight, or whether that is trying to achieve a new level of income in your business, or wanting to find a new job or a new type of relationship, whatever that is. Setting that goal and using your willpower to then achieve it day in and day out is not a sustainable practice. And it's why most people never achieve their goals and then sustain them. So the key here is really to understand that there's a fundamental first step, a foundational first step that is all about alignment. Because the reason you have a habit or a behavior or some way of being that you currently want to change that isn't supporting you, that feels frustrating, that you just wish you could be different, is because that habit used to help you. That way of being, that behavior, usually stems all the way back to your childhood, when there was some reason you needed to do a particular behavior in order to get through a challenging time, whether you realize it was challenging or not. Now, sometimes this can look like not being in your full power, not really owning who you are in a business, or not really owning your voice or owning your worth in a relationship, or really choosing healthy habits for your body. But quite often, especially with addictive behaviors, like smoking cigarettes or emotional eating or watching porn or whatever the addictive behavior is, usually comes down to trying to protect yourself. And from trying to not have to feel a really challenging emotional experience in your body. Now, that might have been because in your childhood, it wasn't really safe to be in your full power. It wasn't safe to feel a certain emotion. So you learned to shove it down to keep you safe, to keep everything calm, or to just please the person that you want to love you, that isn't maybe giving you the love you naturally deserve, because not because they're a bad person, but because they have their own challenges. So then at the most formative years of your development, these habits and behaviors get burned into your neurology, into your habitual patterns. So before you can force or make it happen or use willpower and the new habits to change a behavior, you first need to align your inner world to the version of you who feels safe to be that person, to be the person who weighs the weight you want to hit, or to be the person that owns the business you want to own, or to be the person that is in that super joyous, loving relationship. And that takes patience and gentleness. Now, if you set a goal and then work towards it and use your willpower to make it happen, that may or may not actually work for you. And even if you hit that goal, the chance of you being able to sustain it and hold it is slim, because you're going to end up exhausting yourself. What I'm inviting you to do this year, instead of setting goals and then trying to create habits and force yourself to meet them, is to slow down and create space and actually take the time to understand where the behavior and habit that you currently are doing that you don't like, where it came from. So maybe even pause the video now and start to journal on this a little bit. I'll give you an example. For me, something I've been dealing with for years now has been emotional eating. I used to weigh 280 pounds and I got down to 180. Now I'm about 200, so I'm oscillating between there. And I didn't do it through goals and resolutions. Not first anyway. I realized I was fighting an uphill battle. So what I shifted was to first understand what I was avoiding through my eating. So the question you can journal about is, what am I avoiding through blank? For me, I was avoiding sometimes feeling the fullness of my expression, the fullness of who I am, because it wasn't always safe for me to be fully expressed in my childhood. And then sometimes it's because there's an emotion that I've learned unconsciously. It's like a deep unconscious pattern to protect myself from painful emotions. So as my energy starts to build up, either in the positive energy of me being in my true full power and expression, or whether that's in being in an uncomfortable emotion building up in my nervous system, food has become a way for me to shove that down and to create density in my body and to lower the energy. So for me, it's become a aligning to the person who can bravely express and really bravely be in his power, and also really being willing to understand where those behaviors came from and to be gentle with myself. When you set a goal and you try to achieve it and you try to make it happen, there isn't a gentleness there. There's a part of you that doesn't want that change yet, that is scared to have it, and you're trying to push your way through, which is why it feels like such an uphill battle and feels like there's so much resistance. If you're setting a goal, what I invite you to right now is to never force yourself to do that goal. If you feel resistance, instead pause and understand what that resistance is. Slow down. This world has trained you, me, and everyone to not move slowly, to push through, to force ourselves into new ways of being. And I promise you there's another way. And what I'm really inviting you in 2022 is into the way of the Phoenix, in the way of tapping into a fiery power, taking your power back, tapping into that fiery power that's deep within you. Noticing where you're giving your power away to others or to a particular idea of who you need to be, and then you'll feel better. Then you'll feel safe. Once I have this relationship or this, or I look like this, then I'll feel better. Because there's a part of you that doesn't feel better. And no matter how much you make it look like something on the external world, that part of you isn't going to feel better. So instead, flip it on its head. Instead, focus on helping that part of you that's really freaking scared to choose a new behavior feel better and more aligned first, and then the new habit will naturally happen from a place of spaciousness and ease and joy, because you're removing the resistance. That's the invitation. And what I mean by the energy of the Phoenix, there's something I've created called the Phoenix method. And step 1 is about tapping back into the fire of your truth. Step 2 is letting that fire burn down these old beliefs, old behaviors, old beliefs you have about yourself, about the world, about others, about your safety in the world. For again, another example for me is a fear of abandonment, which has me constantly people-pleasing friends, communities, and just trying over the years, trying to make sure I'm doing whatever I need to do, that everyone is happy and I'll be safe. What I've done over the years is slow down long enough to know in those moments I actually need to spend a little more time alone and to be with that fear and to build the capacity of my nervous system to be there for myself. Because then a whole new way of being shows up from that, which is step 3. When you let the fire burn down the old way of being, then you're in the ashes. And the myth of the Phoenix is about this bird who sings the song of its truth that ignites a spark from the sun to come down and ignite it into flames when it's ready to die. It burns to ash and then is reborn a few days later, fresh and new. It doesn't have to be hard. You align to a new reality, and then there's that little scary period of time where there's a little bit of space in between how you've been being and who you're going to be, that if you can weather that and practice that, and that's where the journaling comes in, that's where the slowing down comes in, that's where the deep breaths and the not forcing comes in, because there is that training to push your way through space, to fill up every second by doing something and making something happen. But that isn't going to feel good for your inner world and for you. So in the description of this video, right under the title, I offer a link to a free 19-page personalized report that utilizes the human design system to really help you understand how you can tap into the truth of your body, that fiery truth I'm talking about again. Step 1 of the Phoenix method, in your unique way. So you can stop operating and trying to achieve goals from the place of the mind and thinking you need to fix yourself and make yourself better by attaining some goal, but instead really realize you're not broken at all and there's nothing to make better, and to come to terms and understanding with why you're doing certain behaviors and coming from a place of gentleness and acceptance that creates a space for something completely new to emerge that you can never force your way to. Then your willpower will actually make a difference. Then your willpower, instead of getting you somewhere that you then can't sustain and you just fall right back until next New Year's, it'll actually align you to an ease with which a new behavior emerges. So what I'm inviting you into is that step 3, to create that space for something new to emerge. And that report will help you with step 1 and step 2 and to begin that journey. So please leave a comment below with any questions, any thoughts, anything that resonated, anything that didn't resonate. Would love to hear from you. And I hope, if you are watching this as we head to New Year's 2022, hope you've been having a beautiful holiday season. And I hope this video really helped you approach goals and resolutions in a completely new way, so that this year you actually achieve the results you want, not because you need to fix yourself, but because it's who you are and that you align to who you are first. If you're watching this at any other time, I hope this helped you with whatever goals you're looking to achieve. Remember, you're amazing. Your voice is important. There's nothing wrong with you. And I hope this video landed and hope you're having a beautiful day.